the perspective of fake news. They say fake news happens because someone enables it to happen. Now, the question you ask is, with all what is in place, international cooperation, international collaborations, networking of people to check it, the question you ask, who brings drugs into the country? How does it come?
I think, that's a valid and very good question. Drugs come into the country from different sources. In our case, for instance, we have very huge, very large borders by air, by waterways, by land. And of course, the drugs come in, through those different borders. Unfortunately also, because of the sheer size, enormity of the borders, it's not impossible to note that in certain areas, the borders are also porous because we probably don't have the wherewithal, to monitor these borders effectively. In the U.S., for example, they have border patrol, a specialized, security agency of government that, executes or carries out border patrol. And even at that, drugs are still smuggled in from Mexico into, places like, San Diego. But we don't even have a thing like that. So you have the vast waterways, through which, persons come into the country, and huge numbers of persons come into this country every day. The institutions of government that check such influx of, of persons from other countries include Immigration Service, Customs, deal with goods, and NDLEA, also supported by, the Nigerian police and other security agencies. But even at that, I do not think that, they have the sufficient structural measures to be able to effectively man these borders. So these drugs still get smuggled into this country. And of course, how do they come in? Through individuals, drug barons, and you have international drug cartels. Nigeria, for a while, had been a transshipment corridor where the drugs that are coming from Southeast Asia sometimes get moved to the United States and parts of Europe, and sometimes from the Americas, Brazil, Colombia, and countries of, in South America come in, and they also get, transshipped out. So basically, that's how the drugs, get in. And that would mean that we need to recalibrate our institutions that are responsible for, border, checks, border controls, and, monitoring to ensure that, they step up with their responsibilities in this regard to prevent the influx. Otherwise, I will tell you that, the different, international cult groups, and they have tentacles all over the world. The Golden Crescent, KKK, and the rest of all such cults that are involved, Golden Triangle, all of them that are involved in it, have tentacles all over the world, through which they funnel these drugs into Nigeria, unfortunately.
You are the president of the African Council on Narcotics. You talked about the need to recalibrate, right? I quote you rightly. Are you working hand in sync with the NDLEA in Nigeria?
It has a list of non-governmental organizations that they work with. Yeah, in the past we had occasion to at the level of non-governmental activities, get carried along by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. African Council on Narcotics also works very closely with the ICPC, amongst one of the several non-governmental organizations that are listed to work with them. As a matter of fact, the need for collaboration, for coordination and cooperation among several agencies, to be able to effectively tackle this cannot be too emphasized. So almost always there is the need and for valves of collaboration to be opened up so that we can work in synergy to be able to effectively tackle this. The drug problem is like crime. It's everybody's problem. So the more individuals or stakeholders can be initiated into this effort to try to effectively tackle it, the better.